Welcome! Join us as we improve your English through the power of storytelling. Each story is carefully crafted to help you learn new words and enjoy the journey of language learning. Today's story is called The Lighthouse Keeper's Lesson. First, enjoy the complete story without interruption. Then, stay until the end, where we will review important vocabulary words from the story together. You will learn the pronunciation, meaning, and how to use each word in sentences. Now, sit back, relax, and let's begin the story. The Lighthouse Keeper's Lesson. On a rocky cliff overlooking the vast ocean stood an old lighthouse. It had stood there for over 70 years, guiding ships safely through the dangerous waters. Every night, its powerful light swept across the dark sea, warning sailors of the sharp rocks below. An elderly man named Thomas had been the lighthouse keeper for 30 years. He climbed the 147 steps to the top of the lighthouse every single evening, without fail, to light the great lamp. Then, every morning, he climbed those same steps again to turn it off. Thomas lived alone in the small keeper's cottage at the base of the lighthouse. He had no family nearby. Few people ever visited this remote location. His days followed the same quiet routine, year after year. Wake up, tend the light, maintain the equipment, read, sleep, repeat. One autumn evening, a young man named Marcus arrived at the lighthouse. He was a journalist writing a story about forgotten places and the people who cared for them. Marcus watched Thomas prepare for his evening climb up the stairs. "Every single night?" Marcus asked, somewhat amazed. "You climb all those steps every night just to turn on a light?" "Yes," Thomas replied simply, gathering his tools. "But surely it could be automated," Marcus continued. "There must be a way to make it turn on by itself. Then you would not have to climb all those stairs every day." Thomas smiled gently. "Yes, it could be automated. The technology exists." "Then why do you still do it manually?" Marcus asked. "Why do you choose to climb 147 steps every single day when you do not have to?" Thomas looked out at the darkening sea. "Walk with me," he said. "Let me show you something." They climbed the spiral staircase together. Marcus, young and fit, found himself breathing hard by the time they reached the top. Thomas, despite his age, climbed steadily and calmly, as he had done thousands of times before. At the top, Thomas lit the great lamp. Immediately, its powerful beam began to sweep across the ocean. They stood together in the lamp room, watching the light rotate. "Do you see anything out there?" Thomas asked. Marcus peered into the darkness. "Just water and darkness," he said. "Look more carefully," Thomas encouraged. After a moment, Marcus spotted it. Far in the distance, a small fishing boat was making its way along the coast, heading home for the night. "Do you see that boat?" Thomas asked. "Yes," Marcus replied. "The man on that boat is named John. He has 3 children. Every day he goes out to fish, so he can feed his family. Every evening, he comes home. And every evening, he looks for my light. It tells him he is close to home. It tells him he is safe. Thomas pointed to another area of the sea. In about 20 minutes, a cargo ship will pass through these waters. There will be 15 people on that ship. 15 families waiting for those people to come home safely. My light will guide them past the rocks. He paused, letting his words settle. On foggy nights, I keep the foghorn running. On stormy nights, I check the light 3 times instead of once to make sure it never goes out. Do you know why? Marcus shook his head. Because even one night without this light could mean disaster. Just one night could mean a father does not come home to his children. Just one night could mean 15 families lose someone they love. Thomas walked around the lamp, checking the mechanisms with practiced care. You asked why I climb these stairs every day when I could automate the system. I could, but then I would just be maintaining a machine. I would be doing a task. But by climbing these stairs myself, by lighting this lamp with my own hands, I am reminded every single day of what I am really doing. I am not just turning on a light. I am keeping people safe. I am helping families stay together. I am serving a purpose greater than myself. He looked at Marcus with clear, steady eyes. The world tells us to find easier ways to do things, to automate, to simplify, to save time and effort. And sometimes that is good. But sometimes the effort itself is what gives meaning to the work. The climb up these stairs reminds me every day why this matters. It keeps me dedicated. It keeps me vigilant. It keeps me from becoming careless. Marcus stood silently, understanding beginning to dawn on his face. Young man, Thomas continued, many people spend their lives looking for some grand purpose, some great destiny. They think meaning comes from doing extraordinary things. But I have learned something different. True purpose is not always found in grand gestures. Sometimes it is found in simple acts done with great devotion. Sometimes it is found in showing up every day to do something that matters, even when no one sees you do it, even when no one thanks you for it. Thomas checked the light one more time. I will probably never meet most of the people I help. They will never know my name. They will never thank me. But that does not matter. I know that what I do makes a difference. Every single day, my work has meaning because it helps keep people safe. He started down the stairs. The climb is hard, yes. My legs ache. My back hurts. Some mornings I wake up and think about how nice it would be to rest. But then I think about John and his 3 children. I think about those 15 families, and I climb the stairs again. Marcus followed Thomas down in thoughtful silence. When they reached the bottom, he said, I came here thinking I was going to write about a forgotten place and an old man doing outdated work. But you have taught me something far more valuable. What is that? Thomas asked. That the value of our work is not measured by how modern it is, or how easy it is, or how much recognition we get for it. The value of our work is measured by the difference it makes in the lives of others. And that showing up every day with dedication and care, even for tasks that seem small or invisible, is one of the most meaningful things we can do. Thomas nodded. Now you understand. Marcus left the lighthouse that evening with a changed perspective. He went back to his life in the city, but he never forgot the lighthouse keeper's lesson. Whenever his own work felt tedious or meaningless, whenever he wondered if what he did mattered, he would think of Thomas climbing those 147 steps every single day. Years passed. Thomas grew older, but he continued his work. He climbed the stairs every evening. He lit the lamp every night. He kept the light burning, season after season, year after year. One winter night, a terrible storm hit the coast. The wind howled. The waves crashed against the cliffs with tremendous force. The rain fell so hard that you could barely see 10 feet ahead. It was the worst storm in 20 years. That night, a fishing boat got caught in the storm. The young captain, panicked and disoriented, could not find his way back to shore. The waves were pushing his boat toward the sharp rocks. He was minutes away from disaster. Then, through the blinding rain and darkness, he saw it. The lighthouse beam, sweeping steadily through the storm. Thomas had climbed those stairs, even in the terrible weather. The light was burning, just as it had every night for 30 years. The young captain followed the light. He steered his boat carefully, using the lighthouse beam to navigate safely past the rocks. He made it home. His wife and baby daughter were waiting for him. The captain never met Thomas. He never knew the old man's name. But because Thomas had shown up to do his work that night, because he had climbed those stairs one more time, a young father came home to his family. This is what Thomas understood that so many people do not. Purpose is not found in seeking glory or recognition. Purpose is found in faithful service. Meaning is not found in doing extraordinary things occasionally. Meaning is found in doing ordinary things with extraordinary care and consistency. Thomas taught us that every act of service matters. Every moment of dedication counts. Every time we show up to do work that helps others, even when it is hard, even when no one sees, even when we get no credit, we are living a life of deep meaning and purpose. The lighthouse keeper climbed his stairs every day, not because he had to, but because he understood something profound. He understood that his small, daily act of service was connected to something larger than himself. He understood that faithfulness in small things creates safety and hope for others. He understood that true greatness is not found in doing spectacular things, but in doing simple things with spectacular devotion. And so the light continued to shine, night after night, year after year, kept burning by an old man who climbed the stairs, because he knew it mattered, because he knew that somewhere out there in the darkness, someone was looking for the light to guide them safely home. This is the end of the story. I hope you were inspired by this powerful tale about purpose, dedication, and finding meaning in faithful service. Now, let's review the important vocabulary words we heard in this story. Listen carefully to the spelling, meaning, and how to use each word. Vocabulary review. Number 1. Remote. Let me spell it. R-E-M-O-T-E. Remote. Remote means far away from other places, isolated or distant. When a location is remote, it is far from cities or other populated areas and difficult to reach. In the story, Thomas lived in a remote location at the lighthouse. Few people visited because it was far from any town or city. Here is another example. They built their cabin in a remote mountain area, far from any neighbors. One more example. The explorer traveled to remote regions of the Amazon rainforest. Number 2. Automated. Let me spell it. A-U-T-O-M-A-T-E-D. Automated. Automated means operated by machines or computers with little or no human control. When something is automated, it works by itself without needing people to run it. Marcus suggested the lighthouse could be automated so Thomas would not have to climb the stairs every day. The light could turn on and off automatically. Here is another example. Many factories now use automated systems to manufacture products. One more example. The automated payment system processes transactions without human assistance. Number 3. Vigilant. Let me spell it. V-I-G-I-L-A-N-T. Vigilant. Vigilant means carefully watching for possible danger or problems. Alert and attentive. When you are vigilant, you stay aware and ready to notice and respond to anything important. Thomas remained vigilant by personally checking the lighthouse every day. This kept him alert and prevented him from becoming careless about his important work. Here is another example. Parents must be vigilant when young children are near water. One more example. Security guards stayed vigilant throughout the night, watching for any suspicious activity. Number 4. Devotion. Let me spell it. D-E-V-O-T-I-O-N. Devotion. Devotion means strong love, loyalty, or commitment to a person, activity, or cause. When you show devotion to something, you dedicate yourself to it with deep care and faithfulness. Thomas performed his work with great devotion. He was completely dedicated to his purpose of keeping people safe, showing up every day with care and commitment. Here is another example. Her devotion to teaching inspired all of her students. One more example. The athlete's devotion to training helped him achieve his Olympic dreams. Number 5. Tedious. Let me spell it. T-E-D-I-O-U-S. Tedious. Tedious means boring and repetitive, taking a long time in a dull or tiring way. When work is tedious, it feels monotonous and uninteresting because it involves doing the same things over and over. Marcus initially thought about how tedious work becomes when we forget its larger meaning. Climbing stairs every day could feel boring and repetitive if we do not remember why it matters. Here is another example. Data entry can be tedious work, but it is necessary for keeping records accurate. One more example. The tedious process of reviewing hundreds of documents took several weeks. Number 6. Profound. Let me spell it. P-R-O-F-O-U-N-D. Profound. Profound means very deep, intense, or showing great knowledge and understanding. When something is profound, it has deep meaning or significance that goes beyond the surface. Thomas understood something profound about purpose and meaning. His insight about faithful service was deep and significant, teaching an important truth about how to live a meaningful life. Here is another example. The teacher's words had a profound impact on how I viewed education. One more example. After the experience, she felt a profound sense of gratitude for her family. Excellent work! You have learned 6 important vocabulary words today. These words will help you express ideas about purpose, dedication, and meaningful work. The words we reviewed are remote, automated, vigilant, devotion, tedious, and profound. Try to use these words in your own sentences this week. The more you practice, the more natural they will become. Thank you for learning English with us today. Remember the Lighthouse Keeper's lesson. Purpose is not found in seeking glory or recognition. Purpose is found in faithful service to others. Meaning is not found in doing extraordinary things occasionally, but in doing ordinary things with extraordinary care and consistency. Whatever work you do, do it with devotion. Show up every day. Your faithful efforts matter more than you know. Someone, somewhere, is counting on the light you provide. See you in the next story.